Hi, welcome back to Bedtime Noir. Tonight I'm excited to share with you a snippet from one of the novellas from the latest collection of novellas, or actually it's their first collection of novellas. It's one of their latest books recently from Starlite Pulp. This one's called American Muse, and it features 4 novellas. There's one by Brian Townsley, one by Jean-Paul L. Garnier, and one from Manny Torres. And you may already be familiar with these authors, but if you're not, you should definitely check out their work. The one I'm going to share with you is a snippet from The Hot Streak by Alex Slusar. And so if you're a fan of noir, of western, sci-fi, horror, there are all kinds of genres that fall under the pulp umbrella, and Starlight Pulp does a great job of presenting them and featuring them in their reviews. They're on review number 5 now, and so I'll be sharing snippets from those with you, some of the other reviews with you soon. So without any further ado, though, here is a sampling from The Hot Streak by Alex Slusar. Ward McCoy gunned the white Cord 810 Phaeton over hot-cracked Arizona asphalt, snaking the automotive beast along the highway coursing by the Gila River. He'd practically flown it down from Wickenburg, and as the sun fell away behind the short peaks along the western horizon, he steered off the highway and into the town of Sentinel just as it slipped under a purple shroud of night. It wasn't easy driving. The Cord juddered underfoot, and the suspension felt chancy on the right front wheel. Not surprising for a car nearly 20 years old, which he'd ridden hard around the state over the last 2 weeks. But Ward figured he'd get a tune-up later when he made the rest of the money, when he got the cash into Del Pasco's hands, when he was in the clear. One more win could make that happen. The Silver Bell would have that win. It had to. The Silver Bell was a square, squat building of pinkish adobe at the far end of town, on a desert flat at the base of a short and scrubby mountain. Above its Ramada entrance, orange neon was twisted into its name, and white neon tubes formed the shape of a bell, which flashed one way and another so it looked like it was ring-a-ding-dinging. The dark and dusty parking lot swelled with cars. Ward found a spot and eased the Cord's broad nose into it. He adjusted his white Stetson and his bolo tie. He tugged at the right sleeve of his sport coat and gently felt along the inner stitching. He checked that the trunk of the car was locked and ensured that the brown Samsonite briefcase inside was secure. He went under the Ramada and into the Silver Bell. The double doors swung in on a wide foyer of pale adobe. Most of these small-town numbers were dives, Ward knew, but this one had some sheen to it. It was pretty in its way. Wagon wheel chandeliers cast a muted glow on plush red curtains framing the archways. There was a counter in the center of the foyer and 2 archways behind it which opened to the play floor. Speakers played a hot jazz lick which mingled oddly with the warbling from the darkened cabaret off to the right. Ward smelled cleaning solvent and cigarette smoke. At the counter were a broad and ruddy-faced man in a dark suit and a waif of a girl with blonde hair in a bouffant. "Anything to declare?" the man said. Ward turned over his Colt M1911 45 automatic pistol. It had pearl grips with a 24-karat gold horsehead cameo set in the center of the grips and WTM engraved in gold on the slide. "Swell piece," the man said. Ward nodded. The girl gave him an orange ticket for the gun. Ward tipped his Stetson to her and walked onto the play floor. It was a hive of jangling chrome, one-armed bandits devouring nickels fed by jovial suckers. Rows of shiny tombstones vomited silver coins into steel troughs and blue plastic cups. Someone laughed phlegmatically over shrill ringing bells. A bandit armed ratcheted. A string of curses followed. Ward found the cashier. He slid 500 in bills through a slit under barred windows. The girl behind the bars changed them into clinking chips of red, white, and blue and pushed them back through a plastic tray. Ward tipped his Stetson, smiled, and asked for the poker tables. They were in a cavernous back room, thick with a veil of acrid, cheap cigar smoke. 2 of the 5 tables had play, and one had an open seat. The players were men around his age, though they seemed sallow or unkempt and worn out. They wore stained hats and chamois work shirts and salt-rimmed neckerchiefs. They sported long mustaches and unruly beards, very unlike his manicured Van Dyke. 2 of them gnawed on cheroots. They shot him an eye as he approached the free chair and sat down. "Fellers," Ward said. He settled his chip tray on the worn green felt. "Welcome, sir," the stocky dealer said. Ward stacked his chips and joined on the deal. The man to his left anteed. 3 rounds later, Ward folded a pair of 8s and the man to his right took the pot. For 5 hands, Ward played tight. On the 6th, he pushed 4 players out by the turn, drew down on the river, edged the other player out on a high card pair of ace-queen to ace-jack, and collected. He scooted the chips around on the felt. Down the table, a player rolled his cheroot from the left side of his mouth to his right and muttered, "Seen you somewheres." "Probably," Ward said. It was a rattling, throaty response from where the cords were irreparably bruised. "I get around a fair bit." The man perched on his left elbow and cocked his finger at Ward. "You're the feller from pictures." So that was from Hot Streak, and it takes so many zigzagging turns. It keeps you guessing, and so I didn't want to do any spoilers. I read it from the beginning, but it sets a great atmosphere, and I'm really interested in mid-century modern and California and the pictures, the dark side of Hollywood, the dark side of a lot of things. And so this definitely has that. American Muse. So pick it up. Check out Starlite Pulp's website and check out the work of these authors, and you won't be sorry you did. And I will look forward to seeing you next time. So take care.